What's up? So we streaming. Welcome to another episode of the Imperfect Action Show. And I know none of y'all was expecting us to go live, but we going live, bro. Season 2, you know what it is. I'm coming back with way more gems, way more value, way more sauce for the people. I'm gonna have a special guest pop on in a little bit, but before she rocks, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna send a link out to the community, let them know we on and popping. Community was good. If you want to join my free text community, text the word daily to 213-410-4920, 213-410-4920. This is what we got going on today. And the show is back popping off. Had to take care of some stuff, pay some bills, reallocate and all of that. But you already know the vibes of the Imperfect Action Show. We got over 130 episodes out the gate, so you know the type of energy that we're coming with. So just want to welcome to the show. If you can hear me out there in Imperfect Action World, all my action takers, drop a little message in the chat for your boy. I just want to make sure the mic is micing and everything is flowing as it should be. You guys drop a little message in the chat. I'm sending a link out right now. We are live on YouTube. Imperfect Action Vibes. Cool. Yo, Ty was good. Ty, you better be in session this Saturday. We're switching up the days anyway. Starting next week, gonna be on Thursday. Pull up for the convo. All right, cool. Yo, so listen, guys, what's good? What's the word? As you know, it's Brennan Boyd, Imperfect Action. You know what we do on this channel. What I like to do is bring you guys principles, strategies, and lessons that you can learn in real time from myself or from my powerful friends who are all doing amazing things, 6, 7, 8 figure earners who are all getting busy. And that's what we're doing on the show. So for everyone out there, the first thing I want to say is, yo, happy September 15th, man. Happy Thursday. Hopefully everything is rolling on your side. And we are in the middle of the month and we are in the last quarter of the year. So the question is, are you ready for 2023? Are you doing everything that you need to do to put yourself in position to be successful? That's the question. And if the answer is yes, then you're off to a good start. If the answer is no, you got some work to do, and that's okay. But what you want to do is you want to be more intentional about what you have going on, your focus, your goals, your dreams, and really what you want to create. And I think the best way you can do that and get very clear on the things that you want. And on this podcast, on this show, we want to make sure that you guys are in position to win and that you're very intentional about the stuff that you want to do. So with that being said, I want you to think about how much money do you want to make by the end of the year? We got about 3.5 months left. How much bread do you want to make by the end of the year? Okay, my guest done pulled up, so let me bring her on real quick. Jha, what up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's good? I like the background. Look, that's a chair. I like the chair.
Yeah.
What's good? So are you in Dallas right now?
No, I'm in Houston.
Oh, Houston.
Yep.
Is it still hot in Houston?
Yeah, blazing
Houston
hot.
be burning. I remember last time I was in Houston. Actually, no, not the last time, but the last time before the last time I was in Houston. I was training for a marathon, so I was on this running program. So I still had to run while I was. Hold on a second. I still had to run while I was while I was traveling, and let me put this on Do Not Disturb. And I started running out in Houston. Yo, that heat was like, it's like I was breathing hot air pockets. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hot.
It was really crazy. So what I'm gonna do real quick, I'll send a message out to the community. I'm gonna send a message out on Instagram. Why don't you introduce yourself? Let people know all about you, what you got going on, the type of impact you're making for the culture right now, and then I'm gonna send this message out real quick.
All right, cool. What's going on? My name is Jha Allen. I run a digital marketing agency. We focus on website design, social media management, and content strategy. based right here in Houston. We like working with business that are community driven. So businesses that have an ultimate bigger purpose behind them. They're looking to potentially build some type of community around what it is that they're doing. So we help them do that using content. Impact I'm having here in Houston is I'm actually working on a co-working space for creatives. So if you're a creative or a small business owner, you'll be able to come create content, collaborate, and also learn about content all under one space. So I'm working on that right now. So be on the lookout to be a member if you're looking to do that.
And then how does that work? Is that a monthly membership? Is that like a subscription type of deal? Is that how that's gonna work?
Yeah, it's going to be working as a same, if you're familiar with WeWork or any other co-working space model, it's a membership base. You're able to come inside and essentially work. But in our space, you'll be able to work alongside other creatives and not only work, but also learn and create the content while you're there.
So for content creators, what have been a lot of hurdles that they seem to be facing? Like whether it's creating the content or making the content consistently, what are like some of the like consistent hurdles that they're running into?
I would say some of the consistent hurdles, just content creators and really business owners, because I think business owners don't relate and understand their content creators, is they aren't diversifying the types of content that they're producing. So they're kind of showing up the same exact way, in the same exact fashion, with the same message, of course, in the same way. So that's some of the biggest hurdle. Content ideas. How can I show up different? What type of content should I be creating? Most of the time I'm finding that consistency, it used to be the issue back in the day, and it still kind of is the issue, but for the serious business owners, it's no longer consistency. Now it's about, well, what should I be posting and talking about?
So back then that wasn't, I mean, it seems like back then that still was a thing, but you feel like the emphasis kind of switched a little bit?
Definitely. Well, it's switched again for and let me not say serious business owners. I'm gonna say people that's been in the game for a minute. So content creation has been around forever, but I feel like over the last 2 years it's been really amplified. We can kind of attest to that with COVID and a lot of other different things that's amplified it. So I don't feel like it's no longer, well, consistency. It's like I can be consistent, but my content now isn't getting any traction. Nobody's paying attention to it. Nobody cares that I'm producing content, because now you have to stop the scroll. Back then, you didn't really have to stop the scroll as much, but now you have to literally stop the scroll because I'm being fed so much other stuff from other people.
So what are like 1 or 2 ways that a content creator, someone's looking to create content, could actually do that? Could stop the scroll or get someone to pay attention to them when they got so much going on? Like, you can't even pick up your phone and just go on Instagram. Like, I feel like let's say you want to check a message. Like if I literally just want to check my DMs, I got to go through a bunch of things before I get to the DMs, because a notification might pop up. My Explore page might be going crazy. Like, I might actually be on a feed and see a bunch of stuff. So like, what are some of the things for people to get through those distractions or actually cause somebody to pay their content attention?
A few things. The first 3 things that come to mind, of course, is the community aspect, but kind of just even getting it deeper in that. I really only feel like 2 different things are stopping the scroll right now. And it's one, of course, the funny, relatable content. So if you are that funny, relatable person and you can make your product or service relate to the trends, then yeah, you'll stop the scroll. People want to see that. Or if you can be very straightforward and specific, that's kind of where a lot of my content is very straightforward. I'm not necessarily being funny or doing any dances. I'm just getting on camera and tell you exactly what I need you to hear. So, yeah. But that's niche content. But niche content don't always get a million likes, but it does build a solid community and brand. So just about where you want to go with it.
What are some of the things you notice in the marketplace that may have used to work but aren't working anymore?
Some of the things that I feel like used to work that aren't working anymore, kind of I just mentioned, just the basic dancing content or just putting on the audio and just using trending audios, like just putting a trending audio on anything, that no longer works. I remember when specifically speaking to Rails and probably a little bit of TikTok. I'm actually familiarizing myself even more with TikTok now, but it no longer works with you wanting to be basic or you just trying to follow the trends. You have to follow the trends, but follow the trends and still make it your own in some type of way, form, or fashion. So you can't be boring. I'm not gonna say boring. You can't be basic. You can't just put stuff out. Oh, you
Yo,
good?
it's my birthday, so everybody calling
Oh,
me.
no, you good? You good? Oh yeah, it's your birthday, bro. Happy birthday, man. Yeah.
Like I'm on do not disturb on my phone, but like the iMessage on the computer keep popping through. And the crazy thing about that is I couldn't even get on the iMessage on the computer like for like 2 days. It like signed itself out and it wouldn't let me get back in. It was doing some weird stuff. So whatever.
Right.
Not a big deal.
It always happens.
Um,
Now you want to do some things. Now all of
yeah,
a sudden,
now I'm trying to now I'm trying to focus on people bothering me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um, but you know, I welcome it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the
No
love.
facts, love. My
Um,
birthday actually in 2 weeks. 2 weeks
oh,
exactly.
word?
So 2 weeks.
That's
Yeah,
still
2 weeks
what,
exactly.
November, September 30th.
Yes.
Hey, so
Yeah,
that is
2 weeks exactly.
Libra? Is that Libra vibes or still Virgo
Yeah,
vibes?
we went to the Libra vibes. We switched it
Okay,
up a little
all right.
bit.
You're right on the cusp. You're right on the cusp.
Yeah, right on the cusp.
um, so I want to ask you a little bit about the podcast, right? So,
What's up?
what? Okay, so what benefits do you feel like a business owner could utilize a podcast to help them get the message out in their business?
Oh yeah, facts. Well, two different ways. Depends on how you want to do it. So if you're a guest on the podcast, definitely it introduces you to a new audience every single time. You're able to talk about what it is that you're doing, and you're able to really articulate and get better because, of course, every interviewer is going to ask you different questions, different ways, different phrases. So it allows you to approach it in a different way. So you really start to understand your business, but it also gives you content. It gives you content, consistent content, because usually they're doing audio or visual or either both. So you're able to use that on your stuff. But if you have your own podcast, it helps you out because then you're able to bring on your own guests. So something that we're doing with my podcast right now is changing our format. So only the guests that we're looking to bring on now are specific content creators. So if you're creating some type of content, we're bringing you on to educate business owners. So whether you're creating video content for YouTube, you're a TikTok influencer, you're a social media manager, anything that relates to content is now our focus of guests. So I feel like with a podcast, again, you can build that community and be a lot more niched on what it is you want to do, kind of make yourself an authority in a particular arena. So it helps out either way.
So when you taking micro content from that podcast, and if you're repurposing it on Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, stuff like that, do you feel like that content hits differently than if I just went out and created a piece of content and uploaded it? Do you feel like the algorithm? I mean, obviously, algorithms are customers. It just depends on the person's cadence on their own platform. But do you feel like content that's like literally from a podcast or from a series, do you feel like that stops the scroll even though there's no blatant like activity to create action to get me to look? Do you feel like that content kind of hits a little bit more than if somebody's just going out creating organic content and posting it?
Yeah, depending on your brand. So I think it's twofold. Everything with me is always like twofold. I try to look at things from both perspectives. So for one, let's say you're a type of person that usually you aren't the type of person that do podcasts and you're not usually in that type of light. So it might stop the scroll for your followers, because if you're not the person that's usually on podcasting or telling your story or like that motivation, like some people like to look at it, people gonna stop. They'll be like, what you got to say? So that's one aspect. But if you are already that type of person, then, a lot of people are using kind of the enticing, what is the content about? So if you can have an enticing subject line, or what is it about, like just going directly over the video, then people will naturally give you 30 seconds if it's about something that they actually interested in. So it allows you to kind of articulate what it's about and make people stop with podcasting content. Like if I have a podcast and I say 6 ways to get out of debt, if I'm somebody in debt, it's already telling me you're gonna give me 6 ways, so I'm more inclined to stop. Versus if you just pull out your camera and start recording and talking, then may not stop.
Yeah, that's facts. I would agree with that, and I think it's interesting because I agree with you. I feel like the landscape has changed a little bit when it comes to content right now, and I think if you're able to grab someone's attention, obviously in that first 2 or 3 seconds or whatever, to get them to pay attention to what you're gonna deliver. But then you have to make sure that, whatever piece of content you have some substance for them, and then it has a call to action. Because if you drop the ball on a call to action, but you had attention that whole time, then you just made that piece of content almost for nothing.
Yeah, some would say.
Where you leading them to?
Yeah, no, definitely. Naturally, some would say, I think too sometimes with the call to action, you want to try to get it in there. But I heard someone say, which is very relevant, it's kind of a mentor, was like sometimes your content ends up on so many different places. So when you do have some type of call to action, it does help out because you might end up on TikTok. You naturally not a TikToking person, but if you say, hey, go to this, go to that, then people might actually be inclined more so to see what you're talking about. So yeah, I can see that.
Did your mindset switch up as a content creator? Like,
Since when?
has it developed like from when you started the game to like has it developed much, changed much, or how you look at it now?
I feel like yeah, definitely it's changed a lot. It's only changed a lot mainly because and it's crazy. I'm implementing a lot of the things that I already kind of know. So I'm doing a lot of storytelling. Of course, as a marketer, we know to tell stories, but naturally, for some reason, it's always something that you forget when you're in your industry. So just I'm getting back to telling stories, getting back to being slower in my content. I used to produce a lot more content, and I
Yeah.
haven't produced as much content anymore, but I produce a lot of substance now. I feel like so just getting really back to the basics, remembering why I started to create content, has been a big help for that actually.
So I know you got to go soon, so I wanted to make sure that we were respectful of your time. If you guys
Mhm.
have any questions for Jha, definitely drop them in the chat. Um, One of the things that I wanted to ask, and I definitely want to make sure we highlight. So in reference to the podcast, give the viewers and the listeners a little bit more insight into what they can expect, from tapping into your podcast.
Oh, definitely. So pretty much listen to the podcast. We drop an episode every week. You're gonna tune into us on Fridays. It's visual and it's audio. So either way, it's called the Connections Hub podcast. And if you go back and listen to our content from first episode up till now, probably did like 30 some episodes. It's kind of a mixed crowd of different business owners, but from 30 up until everything you'll hear from then is strictly content creators. So we got somebody on there talking about social media. We got someone on there talking about how to get your products and different services into big box retailers using your content. So we switched gears and made everything specifically to how to be a better content creator in whatever fashion or way that you see fit. So check us out, the Connections Hub, the Connections Hub.
So it's on all of the podcast platforms as well.
Yes, all the podcast platforms, YouTube, whatever, wherever you listen to your podcast or look at your podcast, you can find us.
So what we're gonna do right now is I want to make sure that everybody follows Jha on Instagram. So we're gonna drop it right here at jha.allen. Check out the Connections Hub Pod and follow her on Instagram. Make sure I get that down the correct way. So I think one of the things that people don't consider when they make content is that I think sometimes, well, on social media it's a little bit different because I think the life cycle of content on social media is pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? However, you are planting seeds. You know what I'm saying? So you could theoretically have a piece of content on social media that might heat up, maybe 72 hours later. But for the most part, if it don't go crazy in the first 24 to 48, it's gonna be pretty much a slow burn. However, on YouTube, what I found is even when it is a piece of micro content, that micro piece of content, that YouTube short can actually still pick up like a YouTube video would pick up, which I find very interesting. So I guess I'm saying that to say when and then we have a question for you from someone from the audience, but I'm saying that to say when you're making content, you should really look at it like I'm literally planting a seed every day. I'm planting a seed every day, and this seed that I'm planting is either going to build momentum for me for the next couple days, week, month, quarter, whatever, or every seed that I plant has the opportunity to go crazy depending on what platform it's on.
Right.
Like podcasting, 100%, YouTube, 100%. You know what I'm saying? TikTok and Instagram, the cycles are a little bit different, but they can still pick up. So I think if people start approaching content that way, it may help them create and craft content that's a little bit differently. What do you think about that?
I think so too, and also it might help them create content in general. Like you said,
Facts.
content is be created daily. So if you kind of keep in mind exactly what you're saying, I'm planting the seed today. I think sometimes when we post a piece of content, we might not get a sale, or we might not get nobody to DM us about what we were talking about in the content. We might think it's not working, and they not remembering that. Kind of how you just said, every day you just got to show up and plant that seed, because you never know when somebody ready to pull the trigger. So you just got to show up.
Do you have a well, before I ask you this question, Ty has a question for you. I just put it on the screen. So why don't we touch on that real quick? She's asking, is there a common piece of content we should make when trying to grow your community? That's a really great question, Ty.
Definitely. Your mission. Figure out how to keep articulating your mission of the community inside your content. And even I've begun to do that with my own content learning. My focus is small business owners, and I keep it just that broad for purposes, because I kept trying to niche it down, and I keep coming back to the same thing of my content is small business owners. So if you can find a way to articulate what is your mission inside your content, like you go to my page, over probably the last 6 pieces of content, you'll start to notice, like, okay, I see what you're talking about. Because all I keep saying is, hey, I'm here to help small business owners, helping small business owners do this, helping small business owners doing that. I'm steady articulating my mission. So when small business owners visit my page, they're going to kind of want to follow me, because they're like, this is somebody that's helping people like me. So that's what I would say, the type of content you want to create.
Ty, if you have any specific questions about your business in relation to content, definitely drop it in the chat. Ask Jha directly or myself. This is why we have this platform to do that. So I definitely want to make sure that we make sure that we provide you with some value. So her question kind of made it's kind of like a little around what I was going to ask you, right? So she just asked, is there a common piece of content that we should make trying to go to the community? What I was going to say is with you specifically, because I've been thinking about this for myself. Do you have a certain cadence of the content, right? So like you said, you got the mission, but is it like another style that you're going to, in another style, you know what I'm saying? So like, for instance, let's say if it was like mission, dance, remix, like, and you kind of like run with that flow. Like, do you have a certain flow with your content?
I used to, and I recently just stopped, but my flow is simple: educational video, motivational posts, educational video, motivational posts. So it's very, very simple. So I never get too in depth with different cadences and all this different type of stuff. That was as simple as it is. I kind of started it back earlier, but it's really that simple to follow. I'll post, I'm going to teach you something, then I'm going to post a video, like a post that you're going to like because it's motivational. That was, keep it very simple.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And then how often are you posting? Because I know that's a question that people like to ask. Like, should I post every day, every other day, 2 times a day, 5 times a day, all the platforms? Should I stick on one platform? Like what have you found that's helpful?
Like probably like the generic answer everybody gonna say, you got to do what works for you. You got to figure out what works for you, what works for your audience. In all honesty, I was posting a few times a day, maybe 2 months ago. Then I went down to once a day, probably about the last 2 months. And then, to be honest, over this last month, I've went down to once every 2 days. And again, that's what's working for me right now. And it might not work for you. So I'm not going to say, hey, Jha told me not to post that much. So don't say that. If you're posting once a day, I never said don't post. I'm saying I'm learning myself, and I know myself now. So because I'm going after helping small business owners in a specific way, that I found that I'm not needing to show up for them as much. I need to show up when I have value. I don't want to just show up just to talk to them anymore, because they're expecting a little bit more out of me now, and to get that more, I gotta reserve myself a little bit more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are you taking your people off of the platform and putting them in an email list, a text list, or some type of virtual community? What's the best advice for someone looking to transition, or how to really maximize on their followers?
Definitely. So if you're first starting out, of course, build some type of community. The easiest way to go ahead and get them off social would be just grab their email. After you grab their email, you can introduce them to other things, or get them in the DM. And then after you get them in the DM, you can introduce them to your community in that way. But I would say the easiest way to pull them straight off is that email. And then once you get their email, start attacking them via email, or via text. Also, don't be afraid to call people. Most of us don't have a million people in our community yet. So you still have access to be able to pick up the phone if you do get their number and call them. So don't be afraid to call them and see what it is holding them back, or how can you help them in whatever way possible.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That makes a lot of sense. So Ty got another question. How can I be intentional and strategic when including my lifestyle as a content creator, like cooking, exercising, etc.?
Intentional and strategic. I would say intentional and strategic. Those are two very strong words. First of all, so intentional. I don't think there's a way to go wrong with that. If you want to include your lifestyle into what it is you're doing, include your lifestyle into what it is you're doing. As far as a strategic route to do that, going back to kind of how we were saying, if you're able to put the text or put the journey actually on your content. So let's say you going in there to work out. If you going in there to work out, we don't want to just see you working out. Like, put on there, I don't know why you working out. You working out like, I didn't want to get up this morning, but I went ahead and went into the gym. I had all these calls. Like, give somebody a journey when it comes to that lifestyle content. Because sometimes I think people are over just seeing a lifestyle, especially when it comes to, I don't mean this in a bad way, but when it comes to cooking in the gym, that's kind of everybody doing that type of content right now. So try to put your journey on your lifestyle content as it relates to what it is that you do. And that'll kind of change things up for you a bit, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense for you.
Yeah, I agree with that. And hopefully, Ty, with that is, if you were paying attention to what Jha was saying earlier, I wouldn't also overthink it, right? So if your categories within the hair would be, cooking for healthy hair, exercising for healthy hair, and then everything else that may be in between, maybe just create around those elements. You know what I'm saying? So you might have like a cooking relative to healthy hair series, exercising relative to a healthy hair series, and so on and so forth. And then from there, just diversify that content. Now, this is the thing. I believe that you should make enough content to get a sample size, though. Some of us is only making one post, two posts on a certain style, and then we're giving up if it don't hit or go viral or whatever the case may be. But you have to give it enough room so you can see, okay, I made 3 or 4, maybe 5 pieces of content, 10 pieces of content on this particular style. Okay, now let me look at these 10 pieces over the course of 2 weeks or whatever. Or in Jha's case, in my case as well, that 10 pieces, that might be a week or two, depending on like how you're doing and what you're putting out. And then you're like, okay, cool. These aren't hitting. It could be the style, it could be the actual substance, it could be everything. And then, maybe they don't really care about the cooking relative to hair. They care more about the exercising relative to hair. Or maybe it's the education with the hair. So you have to put enough content out so you can get a decent sample size, so you can actually look at your analytics and assess the situation. So then you can actually put even better pieces of content out based off of what your audience, is engaging with.
Definitely. I was going to even say, I'm not sure if her brand is about natural hair, kind of like her name, but even some women don't know how to keep natural hair healthy while exercising, or how that, like, what are ways, maybe you can educate them on ways that you're able to do it if that's your industry. I don't know if that's like your niche or who you're going after, but how are you able to do things like that? How are you able to still cook and then do your hair? Because natural hair takes a minute. So maybe you can even do a video of how I'm able to, do braid out, twist, and cook dinner at the same time. Like, just different things. But those are ways that I would say you can incorporate what you're doing with natural hair. Just finding that journey on how you do it. We'll be surprised how we do something and people be like, dang, I didn't even know, what I'm saying, I can do that, because natural hair take a minute. So how I cook the whole meal while still doing whatever to my hair, I don't know a name, like a twist out. How I did a twist out to my hair while cooking dinner in 45 minutes. And then do a fast thing of showing us how you did that. First I did this and I ran to the kitchen and waited 10 minutes for it to sit. Then I did,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, oh. I mean, like that, you might have to get a little creative depending on how you're telling it, but 100%. I agree with her. I mean, it's really about, okay, thinking about the elements, being consistent, putting out quality content, being intentional, building that community, and then like literally, a lot of people aren't going to give them the sauce. You be the one to give them the sauce. Like you be the one to really give them that quality, that value, the stuff that you would almost get paid for. Give them that. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna earn that know, like, trust, that KLT, and then from there, you can take them to, you can ascend them to that next level.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, before we go, obviously you told people where to find you, so I definitely want to reiterate that. So drop the pod again, drop your Instagram again, and then also whatever you're working on right now. If there's something right now for them to tap into, or how they can work with you, please let them know that.
No, definitely. So follow me on Instagram, Jha, JHA.ALLEN on all Instagram platforms. Well, all Instagram platforms, yeah. Well, Instagram and Facebook, definitely. You can find me there for podcasting, the Connections Hub. You type that into YouTube or any podcasting network, you'll find it. Really, if you type my name into any network, you'll be able to find where I'm at, to be honest. And it'll connect you. As far as working on, to be honest, the best thing you can do for me right now is just follow me. I'm actually, again, unrolling the journey of the co-working space. So as that unrolls, you'll be able to join our online community if you are in Houston, all these different things. But for right now, just follow me and go with the journey. Just follow the journey. That's it.
100%. So, Jha, thanks a lot. Appreciate you for bearing with me, because I know I was tardy to the party. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Like literally, I had an issue with like airdropping, and I told Alexa, oh, she ain't hear me. But I was like, yo, give me 10 minutes. So I deleted like 40 minutes of video off of my phone.
Oh, wow.
And it still ain't airdropping. I'm like, it ain't a capacity issue. Like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because I just dropped a new podcast today with the six-figure BBQ man. And I don't know if you ever met Derek Wood, or if you're familiar with Derek Wood, but he's actually a real-life mayor in the city of Dumfries in Virginia. But he's also a mobile food millionaire. But we just had a podcast. I dropped it today. So I was trying to put a clip up on social. We talking about content. It ain't letting me airdrop. And then I upload it to the drive, but it's compromising the quality of the video. So like, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I can't get, I don't know. We figuring it out, but
yeah.
That's why I was a little late. Like, I didn't even see the time. But I'm so appreciative and grateful to have you here. Look forward to building, supporting everything you got going on. Whatever you need from me, just let me know.
No, definitely. I really appreciate it, man. It's all love.
100%. All right, y'all. So look, tomorrow we back. I'm not even gonna let you know what time we are back, but it's season 2, Imperfect Action Con Jha, episode 1. Episode 2 is gonna be somebody else spicy. I ain't letting you know the time. I'm not letting you know the person. You gotta make sure you tapping into the community. So I'm gonna put the number below. Right? 213 410 4920. Text the word daily, right? And get access to news, moves, and updates, as well as we got the free workshop Sunday, podcast to profits, and everything like that. So make sure that you tap in. Like I said, we're going to just be popping up with live on YouTube right now. If you miss anything, make sure you watch the playback. Jha, I'll talk to you soon.
For sure.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Oh, David just asked a question. What's the best way to get unstuck? Are we talking about getting unstuck on the pod? Are we talking about getting unstuck content? Or are we talking about getting unstuck in life? I don't know, but D, I'm about to hit you. Maybe that's a topic that we're going to touch on another episode. Maybe we'll actually talk about it tomorrow. Thanks a lot, you guys, for tapping in. Peace.